Good morning, Mrs. Johnson's class. Did you all know that it's April Fool's? I was hoping that we would have woke up this morning and the state say April Fool's, time to go back to school, but I doubt that's going to happen. So that's the best April Fool's joke I've got for you. Lots of teachers on Facebook are telling their kids that, and parents are going to tell their kids in the morning to get up, hurry, school's back in session. But I think that's going to be sad for some people. It would be sad for me when I found out it was just an April Fool's joke. Anyway, hopefully you're having a good day. You guys are still doing great on getting your math in. The one thing I need you to remember is to always do your language. Okay, the list that I give in Google Classroom, go one by one and check it off and make sure you have everything done on that list so that you don't have to have anything late, okay? So today's lesson is on dividing decimals. I think we're getting pretty good at dividing decimals. So we're just going to do a few of these together. Marcus wants to go hiking while he is on vacation. The trail is 2 7600ths of a mile long, and Marcus hikes 4600ths miles each hour. How long will it take him to hike the entire trail? Okay, so we want to know how long it's going to take him to hike the entire trail. Okay, so what we need to decide is what is our whole, what is our thing that needs to be divided up? Okay, and what it needs is it's 2.76, so that becomes our dividend. What needs to be divided up? Okay, well, how many groups is it going to be divided into? 4600ths of a group. So then we know that it's 2 7600ths divided by 4600ths. Okay, now when we're dividing decimals, if you want to draw a model, if that's what helps your brain, then draw a model. If you understand the algorithm, then this is what I'm going to teach you today, okay? Remember, the first thing is we cannot divide by a decimal. What do we need to do? We need to make it a whole number, right? How are we going to make it a whole number? Well, if we move our decimal point 2 times, we make it a whole number. But what are we actually doing when we multiply or when we move those decimals? We're multiplying by 10 and another 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. So we're actually multiplying by 100. Well, if we multiply this number by 100, we've got to multiply this number by 100. So we know that we can move it 2 spaces. So now we're dividing 276 by 46. Okay, so let's do this. 27 divided by 4 is what? 6. So let's do 46 times 6. It's 36, 3, 24, 27. Aha, look at that. Okay, and then where does my decimal go? Well, my decimal goes straight up. So if it's right there at 6.0, then we know that that's 6 holes. So how long will it take him to hike the entire trail? It will take him 6 hours. Okay. All right, Sammy is making necklaces for a craft show. Each necklace is 33 4/10 centimeters long. If she has 233 8/10 centimeters of cord, how many necklaces can Sammy make? We want to know how many necklaces Sammy can make. And again, we've got to decide what is our whole and what are we dividing? What are we dividing it into? Well, we know that each necklace takes up 33 or needs 33 4/10 centimeters. We know how much we have is right there. Our cord is that. So that's what we need to divide by or divide up. And we're going to divide by 33.4 to find out how many necklaces are going to be made. Okay, again, when we're dividing decimals, can we divide by a decimal? No, we need to divide by a whole number. So we're going to move our decimal once, which we did what? When we move our decimal once, we're multiplying by 10. So if we multiply this number by 10, we multiply this number by 10 and move it once. Okay, so 334, how many, let's see. Oh, knock, knock, knock. We're going to go clear 334, woo-wee. Even when we got sister, he's still scared, so we got to go get brother. So we're going to have one number. Okay, so how many 300s do you think we can take out of 2,338? About how many 300s? 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Ooh, should we try 7? So 7 times 4 is 28, carry the 2. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2 is 23, carry the 2. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2 is 23. There it is. So how many necklaces can she make? She can make 7 necklaces. Okay, so that is really what we're doing today. Okay, the one thing that you need to make sure that you're being aware of is what is being divided, what is our whole that's being divided into groups, and what is our groups. Okay, so Raymond paid $3.25 for notepads and $1.44 for markers. What is the total number of items he bought? Okay, so we've got to come over here and we've got to figure out how many notepads we can get for $3.25. Well, each notepad cost 65 cents. So $3.25 divided by 65 cents. What's our first thing we have to do? We cannot multiply, or we cannot divide by a decimal. So we're going to go 1, 2, multiply by 100. 1, 2, multiply by 100. Okay, so 65, put my finger there, 32 divided by 6, I'm going to guess is 5. 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. So he bought 5 notepads right there. Okay, and then for markers, $1.44 divided by 36 cents, because that's how much each marker costs. Okay, so I've got to move my decimal twice, multiply by 100, move my decimal twice, multiply by 100. 14 divided by 3 is, I'm going to try 4. 4 times 6 is 24, carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So he bought 4 markers. So what is the total number of items he bought? Well, he bought 5 notepads and 4 markers, so he bought 9 items, because 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay. All right. We'll do one more, and then I think I'm going to leave you to do these ones by yourself, because I think you can figure that out. Mia pays $3.15 for new red pencils. If they cost 45 cents each, how many red pencils does she buy? So our whole that's going to be divided is $3.15, and our parts that how many groups of 4,500ths is our divisor. Okay, Jessie calculates 89 and 2400ths divided by 2.3 and gets the answer is 388. What error might Jessie have made? You've got to solve it to find out the error. What is the quotient? Quotient means what? The answer to a division problem. And then it says to divide. Okay, spiral review, find the sum or differences. Looky here. What do we do when we add or subtract decimals? We line up the decimals. Then where do we bring the decimal? The decimal will then come straight down. Well, right here, we're multiplying decimals. So what do we do when we multiply decimals? We ignore the decimals and we multiply, and then we see how many numbers are behind the decimal and move our decimal twice. Okay? All right, let's do this number 4 together, and then I think I'm going to let you not have to have such a long video today. Okay, a box of pasta weighs 13 6 ounces. A recipe calls for 95.2 ounces of pasta. Write and solve an equation. There's our first thing. Write and solve an equation to find the number of boxes of pasta needed to make the recipe. Okay, so in here, what is our whole that's going, not necessarily whole, but what's going to be divided up? Well, we need 95.2 ounces of pasta per, and then we know that each box is 13 6/10. Okay, so what do I do when I divide? I make it a whole number by multiplying by 10. If I multiply that by 10, I have to multiply this by 10. Okay, so right here, 13, how many 136s? That's about 140, 280. Gosh, let's guess 6, because I know that 6 times 2 gives me, anyway, 6 times 6 is, it's very late. Can you tell it's very late? I forgot that I had to do this, and it's very late. So let's just try 6. Nope, that's going to give us 36. Let's just do this out, and then we'll see. 18, 21, 6. Whoa, no, we could go even further. I bet we can do 7, and yep, that would probably be it, because 6 times 2 is 42, so that gives me that too. That's what I was trying to figure out. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. 7 times 1 is 7, and looky there. So this is 952. So how many boxes will they need? They will need 7 boxes. Okay? All right. Remember, when you're dividing decimals, you cannot divide by a decimal, so you need to make it a whole number by multiplying by 10. Well, if I multiply by 10 on this number, I've got to multiply by the 10 on this number. If I move this one to the right, I have to move this one to the right. And then you do your division, and then your decimal goes straight up. Okay? Good luck today. Good job. Have a good April Fool's Day.